Hello, this is Woody Collins, and it is showtime, and it's time to talk about Congo. So, this is another episode of Talking About Congo, and our discussion today will revolve around what's our business in Congo, what's our business model, and what we are all about. So, let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by, even those who are here on live, and also those who stop by later on the broadcast. So you can always catch us on Facebook, my both my personal profile and also Congo Helping Hands, and on YouTube, Congo Helping Hands. So let's go ahead and get started. It's a beautiful day, and I'm outside again. And I love to be outside, and I'm in a favorite location that has great access to the internet, and so it's good. So, what is Congo all about? We've been in business for officially as Congo Helping Hands since 2004, when a group of us who were initially involved with going over to the Congo with our church, the Presbyterian Church of Whitewater Valley, and a number of us decided that we needed to do something to help our brothers and sisters in the Congo. So, but we did not want to consider ourselves a religious organization, but I guess, a faith-based organization, meaning to say we believed in faith and believed in that would be our guiding principle, but we wasn't going to be able spreading the gospel. We were going to spread the gospel, do good to people based on our faith uh, in God. So that was what we adopted, and we have been working in that vein. We decided to look at what the people needed and what they were asking us about. They were asking us about, number one, education and what they could do, because they saw as education is a way for them to get out of poverty. So we looked at education primarily, not say primarily, but the looking at the primary schools, because we did not want to jump ahead of time, and what we wanted to do was to draw a little bit at a time. We would say we'll start off in the first grade with classes, and hopefully we were going to follow those to second grade, third grade, and then we will build upon our system like that. And so that's what we initially started out with, helping the school. Also, there was a great need for health care. People were really dying and looking at different uh, diseases. Malaria was a big disease and still is. So we decided, okay, let's do mosquito nets. And so we provided mosquito nets and all different types of supplies. There was a big 1 out of 5 children would die because before they reached their 5th birthday. So that was 20%. So, and they were dying from lack of prenatal care and postnatal care. And so we decided to try to get the mothers to really look at that and say, if you wanted to invest in your kids, you needed to invest from a health perspective also. We looked at food because we saw a lot of people that the uh, during the dry season, right after the harvest was over with, they were starving. That was something that we could not understand. As a country that grows food, why would they go through this period of starvation? And what we found out is, unlike America, where we harvest and we can stuff and put it in freeze it and all that stuff, they did not do that. They basically, it was from field to the table, and if there was nothing in the field, they did not have any food to eat. So we've been working on trying to get them to look at long range and says, hey, you can actually farm during the dry season if you do some drip irrigation and things like that. However, that has been a long-term project, and people just don't, because water is so inaccessible, they have to tote water for miles back to pour on the ground. And so, you can understand that they could not have that long range vision of 3 months from now they will have a crop of food when they were dealing with it every day trying to bring water back up during the dry season. So the big things on how you need to change that is you need to be able to have water nearby. And so we looked at drilling wells, doing water cisterns to capture rainwater, because that's one of the problems that they have in the Congo now is during the rainy season, it rains a lot, and that rain wreaks havoc in the cities and also on the countryside and on the roads. So if they had a way to capture some of that rain, at least in the villages, that they would allow them to have water nearby throughout the year. So that was another thing that we looked at. So all those things deal with helping a suffering people develop into something that they would not ordinary. We wanted to give them a helping hand, not to be, taking care of them, but to give them a helping hand so that they can make that leap, make that step to the first round, and then in some cases maybe help them to the second round. But afterwards, they would be able to go forward for themselves. So that was the model and thing that we started out with, and we've continually tried to do. However, we've been the more we learn about the Congo, we see the situation is, for instance, back in 2007, as I talked about yesterday, that they had a large displacement of people running from their lives because of the militia attacking. They have not, we had to, the consequences of that is, number one is you have people who do not have any food. There's no grocery stores, and then they can't afford to buy food in the towns where that may have food. So we had to provide food along with the World Food Program to help them to live and to survive during those periods of time. That was unexpected and something that we had thought that we would never be doing, uh, that we would be helping people at the survival level. We always thought that we would be helping them beyond the survival, that they could survive on their own, and we would be helping them beyond that. So it's been a revolving mission, a evolving mission in the Congo, where we've had to step back and do some things that we did not initially plan on doing because the people needed it and they were suffering. And so we did not want to pass up on that opportunity. And what we say opportunity, it was, something that we necessarily had to do. So what we do is we meet with people of faith, people in churches that would like to help out, and they don't have to. It's something of people of good nature, righteous people who think that the world is bigger, and there is a way that they should be helping out uh, on different situations. Those are the people who we look for to provide support, and we just act as an agent uh, with direction and implementation in the Congo. Uh, we are the ones that if you wanted to do something with helping people in the Congo, how would you go about doing it? I think it would be very difficult that you don't, number one, don't speak the language. Number two is how you get money to them. Uh, and how you, number three is how you know that it's going to be used for a good, uh, for the good. And so that's where we come in to play, is that we want to give you that transparency that we are doing what we are the best that we can do to help the people with the resources that you have provided to us. And so that's why we say we are your hands and feet, because we know that if conditions were different, meaning you didn't have to ride on a plane for 25 hours, 26 hours, you would go to the Congo and you would be helping and looking and seeing how to do it. The same as you would do here in the United States. People go, look at a food pantry and says, yes, they need food, or they see a family that needs help, they would go out and help them. But, you know, being 16,000 miles away, it's hard to do that. And so it's a little problem. So we're trying to solve that problem so that you can help the most neediest of people uh, in their ways to become better and to save their lives. So I'd like to thank you. And I see uh, uh, John, uh, John Louis Bear uh, that is on. And thank you for stopping by, and hello to you. And we would like to say that, as always, that help us by, number one, yes, we like donations, but also we're at the point now, we're just evolving with this new transition to social media, and so we need to get a bigger footprint. So you can easily help us in that way by sharing our content, by asking questions that you may have, so that we can, the same questions you have, other people will probably have, and so we uh, want to answer questions, and we appreciate your comments. As always, as before I close, I always like to say, take care of you, take care of yourself, and take care of your family. Be safe. And during this pandemic, wash your hands, and also socially distance. And finally, wear your mask. And as always, be blessed. So thank you again for stopping by. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and we will talk with you later. Take care, everyone.